Hello, everyone, and welcome to What's Up with Real Estate, where we cover the three most important talking points from the previous week's real estate and mortgage related news and events. And please help me welcome our very special guest host today, ChatGPT. ChatGPT, say hi.
Hey everyone, super excited to be here. Let's dive into those big updates.
Beautiful. We packed the show with news you can use today with the big headline this week. The new home construction industry is feeling the heat and over concerns, and concerns are growing about how tariffs could impact home costs and affordability. We'll break that down, plus some surprising mortgage rate news as of yesterday. We'll discuss the builder confidence, as we mentioned previously, and more. News you can use for week ending February 21st, 2025. So tell them who I am.
Absolutely. This is Mortgage Mac, bringing you over 30 years of expertise in the mortgage industry, ready to help you navigate the latest in real estate and financing.
Thank you, ChatGPT-Sol. Let's get started, shall we? And before we do, I just want to just take a moment and just offer my condolences. After 30 years of being in the industry, I have developed just an enormous number of relationships. And unfortunately, in those relationships, we have good times and we have bad times. And I just want to offer my condolences to Marty P. and Larry C., both good clients, friends for many, many years who both have lost loved ones. Condolences to you and to your family. Talking point number one, dun dun dun. More new homes, please. Yeah, housing inventory took a major hit during the pandemic, and even more so during the Great Recession. And as a result, new home sales jumped from about 9 to 10% of the market to 14% in 2023 and 2024. That is an enormously big shift. I can tell you with some of the conversations I've had with new home sales reps, they said that 2024 was their best year ever. And let's see, 2023 was their best year ever. Forgive me. 2023 was their best year ever. 2024, they saw declines, but I don't think that they saw maybe sales declines, but I clearly they were just competing with more inventory, and I believe that that was the reason because I remember 2023, no inventory in the resale market whatsoever. We're going to bring our co-host on here and get her comments on this subject matter as well. So, what do you got for us?
Thanks, Mac. That surge in new home sales definitely reflects how builders stepped in to fill the gap. With inventory challenges easing up a bit in 2024, buyers now have more options, which is likely balancing out those sales numbers. Are you seeing more competition between builders and resales now?
I don't know that I am. I actually am seeing less because I have more inventory in the resale market. And generally, most people that have their mind made up that they're going to buy a new home probably aren't going to be working with me because builders own their own mortgage company.
That makes sense. Builders often have those incentives and partnerships that keep buyers in house. And with more resale inventory now, buyers might be weighing their options more carefully. Are there any trends you've noticed with clients shifting back to the resale market?
Well, I can say that there's a definable difference in the resale market just having more homes for sale. In 2023, the number of applications that I took versus the ones that I closed, the conversion rate was extremely low, lower than I had ever expected in my career or ever seen in my career. And it was solely based on the fact that there was just no inventory in the resale market. And if you were looking to purchase a home in 2023, you didn't have a lot of options in the resale market and you were almost compelled to buy new.
That's a huge shift. It shows how crucial inventory levels are for both buyers and lenders. Now that more homes are hitting the market, there's definitely more flexibility and opportunities for clients. Are you seeing any change in buyer preferences now that there's more choice?
Yeah, I think that, a lot of buyers would prefer to buy resale, especially maybe newer resale, just because of having to wait for the home to be ready, and which can take 6 to 9 months. And, hey, you can't lock in your interest rate, and people need to move. So a lot of people can't wait 6 to 9 months for the home to be built. And so with that said, we're going to transition to our next talking point number two. And yeah, let me tell you that, the trend that we're seeing was indicative of a rising market, or, we just seem to be stuck in that 7% range. But despite what this says, I can tell you that according to Mortgage News Daily, that we went below the 7% mark on Friday. And there was some breaking news on Friday. We're going to bring Sol in here to discuss that breaking news that occurred on Friday that caused interest rates to dip below the 7% mark. Sol?
Thanks, Mac. The big news on Friday was a slight shift in economic indicators that boosted investor confidence. This helped bring mortgage rates down just under that 7% threshold, which is definitely a positive signal for buyers who've been on the fence. Are you noticing more activity from your clients since that dip?
Well, no, there's not enough time for since Friday for for me to notice any sort of trends in that regard. But rates did, dip their toe in the 6% range on February the 5th, and then again yesterday. And hopefully, well, I say hopefully. I think that we need to put low interest rates into perspective. Generally, we have low interest rates when what? So
Typically, low interest rates coincide with economic slowdowns or recessionary periods. They're often a tool to stimulate borrowing and spending. So while they can be great for buyers, they usually signal broader economic challenges.
that's right. That's right. So, even during COVID, we had low interest rates. Some people think we had low interest rates because of the administration. And if you've been told that, it's not true. We had low interest rates because of COVID and the central bank coming in and doing quantitative easing and pushing interest rates down to try to drive consumerism and to help people, remanage their debt to increase their cash flow so that they could continue to spend money and grow the GDP, right? So what have you got? What have you got on that idea and Sol?
Exactly. Quantitative easing and lowering rates are strategies to boost economic activity in tough times. It's a delicate balance, but those policies can help create opportunities for buyers and homeowners to make the most of those lower rates. Are
That's
you
right.
seeing clients leveraging that to refinance or restructure their debt?
No, I think we're going to need to go below the 6.5% to see any meaningful refinances. Excuse me, and ideally we'd want to see even below 6% to see any meaningful refinances. Although I did have an inquiry from a client
Right.
yesterday, but rates still are not where they need to be for it to make sense for him to refinance. And unless it just makes sense to refinance, there's no point in spending the money. And so, any final thoughts on that segment, Sol?
That's a great point. It's all about timing and making sure the numbers work in the client's favor. Being patient and strategic is key to getting the most out of a refinance.
That's right. But this is good news that we did see a dip below the 7% mark. And, I'm inclined to believe that with government employee layoffs and that we are eventually going to see that reflected in the market, maybe not this quarter, but the next quarter, which is, I believe, from my perspective, is going to be used as a tool to to it's going to be used as a tool to drive interest rates lower. And unfortunately, it's going to be at the expense of government employees, which is, if you're a government employee, it's a tragedy. And if you're in the private sector, we've been conditioned to think that people that work for government entities are somehow different from us, but they're still people. They still have families. They still have mortgages. And so I'm of the mindset that we are going to see lower rates moving into 2025 for no other reason than the current administration, to some degree, is going to crash at least the government sector of the economy, and eventually the Feds are going to have to lower interest rates, albeit maybe mid to late 2025. Now for a commercial break from Rate.com.
Looking to purchase a new home? The Rate app from Guaranteed Rate has got you covered. Once you've downloaded the Rate app, click to log in and create your password. This will take you to the intro page. Click the gray Same Day or Home Loans tile, and then click the red Apply Now button. Then click Start a New Loan. Begin by telling us where you are in the home buying process. Typically, for a pre-approval, you will click What Can I Afford? From there, the Rate app will load a series of simple questions. Answer each one the best you can as you move along. Once you've completed the application, your loan officer will receive a notification so they can review your information and set up your personalized checklist. The Rate app even allows you to upload documents right from your phone. It's just that easy. And if you do get stuck or have any questions, just give us a call. We'll be sure to get your questions answered so we can get you one step closer to owning the home of your dreams. The Rate app from Guaranteed Rate, simplifying life's biggest purchase.
Hey, and thank you, Rate. And look, if you don't have our mobile application on your cell phone and you're a real estate agent or you're a buyer, or really if you're just anybody, because we have so many benefits and features on the application that relate to finances, food, and exercise. And it's just a world-class application. I highly recommend it. Let's move on to talking point number 3, and we're going to talk about builder confidence. And give me one moment here. I want to make sure that we have Sol. We can hear Sol. One second. So, builder confidence. Builders are getting nervous, potentially. Why? Because of tariffs. And those tariffs, two of our biggest trading partners are all of a sudden our enemies. Tell me how that makes sense, please. Somebody tell me how that makes sense. Seems like never mind. I'm not gonna go into that. But look, none of it makes sense. But clearly, we import building materials from Canada. We import building materials from Mexico, and builders are getting nervous about that. And those numbers matter because 30% of framing lumber and 32% of home appliances come from international trade. That can mean higher prices for new homes. We're going to bring Sol in here and invite Sol to comment on this segment. Sol?
Thanks, Mac. Tariffs can really disrupt supply chains and drive up costs for both builders and buyers. When a significant portion of materials comes from international sources, even a small tariff can create a ripple effect. Are you seeing builders adjusting their timelines or pricing strategies in anticipation?
Thank you, Sol, for that. And hey, yes, we do have Sol live. So, hey, a couple of weeks ago, I launched an entire segment and, we couldn't hear Sol. So I just wanted to make sure I made some changes. And sometimes, I make changes and I mess things up. So let's move on to mortgage terminology for this week. And let's see what we have for mortgage terminology. I do loans in different states, and we have what we call a DLO desk. Don't ask me what DLO stands for. But I've discovered that in other states, closing transactions for folks moving from Texas to another state, and that I closed a transaction just last month where it was a due diligence state. And so I thought I'd bring this in here and just share with everybody and the difference between due diligence and earnest money. So they are two fees that often, confusing, not just to buyers, but to lenders as well that don't normally lend in that particular state. But earnest money is essentially a good faith deposit showing the seller that you're serious. However, due diligence is a non-refundable and paid directly to the seller to take the home off the market while inspections are done. And so I've seen the due diligence fee be equivalent to what we would pay here as an earnest money fee. So it could be quite costly paying for a due diligence when you make an offer in a home. And you should do that clearly with caution. Otherwise, you could definitely lose that money. So
That's a great breakdown. Due diligence fees can be a big commitment, especially since they're non-refundable. It's crucial for buyers to understand the local market norms and consult closely with their agent to avoid any surprises.
I agree. And I think it's also crucial to not just get pre-qualified, but get pre-approved. I see so many people that confuse the two terms, and they are not the same, and they are not recognized the same by mortgage professionals like myself and real estate agents who have been doing this for a long time. We understand that qualification means that at best it's verbal, maybe in writing with an assessment by the loan officer. The loan officer doesn't have the authority to approve a loan, only an underwriter does. So truly a pre-approval is a scenario by which we've taken the loan application, We process the third-party information to verify the information on the loan application, submitted it to an underwriter, and have a formal approval. And I can't say enough about how important that is today to, first of all, to create peace of mind that, hey, going into the transaction, that we're not going to likely to incur something that's going to happen at the last minute that is going to impact the buyer, the seller, and all parties negatively. And so it just creates enormous peace of mind that we are going to be successful. And we have a very specific protocol that we follow. We call it Power Bid. And I do power bids every week for people to position them to be successful and to win in the marketplace and to negotiate in the marketplace. So, with that said, let's move on to dun 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 dun. Uh-oh, it's fun time. Let's bring Sol on here, and we are going to do Stoic quote of the week, and we're going to get some perspective on this from our co-host. Sol, let's bring you on. 1 second. Sol, do you want to review Stoic quote of the week for us, please?
Sure thing. Here's a timeless Stoic quote. We suffer more in imagination than in reality, from Seneca. It's a great reminder to stay grounded and not let worries get the best of us. What's your take on that, Mac?
I love that. I love that. But we did that like a couple of weeks ago. So this week's Stoic quote is, when someone is properly grounded in life, they shouldn't have to look outside themselves for approval. What do you think of that, Sol?
That's a powerful one. It speaks to the importance of self-assurance and not relying on external validation. It's all about finding confidence and purpose from within. How do you help your clients build that mindset?
I think that that comes from the manner in which I convey, and my team and I convey, that we genuinely care about them. And we operate with what we call the E to the power of 3. That means that we intend to educate so people are empowered. And we believe that when they are empowered, then they feel good inside about themselves and the decisions that they're making, with the idea that we want them to have a meaningful experience in their relationship with us and feel compelled to refer their friends, their families, and their coworkers to us. So,
That's a fantastic approach. Creating that sense of empowerment and trust goes a long way in building strong, lasting relationships. It's clear that your clients feel that genuine care.
that's right. That's right. So let's move on to other news. And Sol, I'm going to let you lead into this. Let's bring you on the screen now. And Sol, do you want to cover some of the other news for us?
Sure. A major trend we're seeing is how technology is reshaping the real estate landscape, from virtual tours to AI-powered tools for home searches. It's opening up new possibilities for both buyers and agents. Are you finding these innovations helpful in your day-to-day?
Well, yeah, you're on the screen right now. I think you're quite an innovator, and I'm glad to have you on the screen with me today because, hey, I've got lots of personal stories to share, but look, your library of facts and content is much larger than mine. But here's other news that we had planned to share with folks today. And you know what? Holiday spending was up in December, but January saw retail sales drop 0.9%. And this could be taken as a sign that, hey, maybe the consumers have just spent a little too much money above their budget. Budget, what's that? Look, I talk to people regularly and I ask them if they have a budget. Generally, the answer is no, which is unfortunate. Um, so, any comment on that?
Yeah, having a budget can make a big difference, especially when navigating those post-holiday expenses. Even a simple plan can help people stay on track and avoid financial stress.
No
Are
doubt,
you
no
noticing?
doubt. No doubt. Hey, and the other item that we had, no, and I'm not no well, I say I have not noticed. I what I've noticed is that most people don't have a budget. And because I do ask first-time home buyers, especially when we're making a big transition from a payment of rent or no payment at all to a mortgage payment. And if I don't see that they have any liquidity and money saved and they're not accustomed to paying rent, they're not accustomed to having a house payment, that's a clear indicator that maybe they might be outspending their income. So, and in other news, California wildfires are putting major strain on insurance, and we have yet to determine how this is going to impact us. But I believe it's going to impact us on an international basis, and we've talked about it on other shows that there are certain parts of the country, I believe, that in the next decade, the next 2 decades for sure, that are going to be places that are uninsurable, and people are just aren't going to be able to live there unless maybe they can pay cash and not have to have a mortgage, or we're going to have to come up with a different solution for insurance. So
That's the challenging situation. Areas facing heightened climate risks will need innovative solutions, whether it's new insurance models or even rethinking how communities are built. Adaptation will be crucial moving forward.
that's right. And it's not just me saying that. And look, here's a quote from Fed Chair Powell, warning that some areas could soon become uninsurable. Can you believe that the Fed chairman of the central bank is saying that some places in the United States could be uninsurable, and that mortgages might not be able to be written in those particular areas? Now, I'd hate to think that it would be, on a statewide basis. I think it's going to be very, very localized, but it is going to happen. And I believe it is going to happen. I think the evidence is clear that, you know, climate change is real. And now we might argue about who is responsible for it. For me, it's pretty clear. The evidence is pretty clear, but there's no denying climate change anymore. And I can tell you that the summers here versus growing up are extraordinarily hot. Far more days of heat advisories than 30 years ago. And I think I saw a statistic this past summer where we're upwards of well over 20 days of heat advisories versus 30 years ago, max 5 to 7 in a summer. So with that, let's move on to a commercial break from our friends at List Reports. And if you don't have a List Reports account, you need one. Just go to listreports.com and sign up and choose Mack&CHAT as your loan officer. All the content that you see here today is content that we generated using our List Reports account, including the news, well, with the exception of ChatGPT.
List Reports is a free, personalized marketing solution for agents designed specifically to save you time and streamline your workload. Looking to promote listings? When each of your listings hit the MLS, a personalized marketing kit is automatically created for you in under an hour. It contains more than 25 ready-to-use digital marketing materials. These beautifully branded items include open house flyers, single property websites, postcards, and more. Looking to build your social media brand but not sure what to post? Check out our free shareable social images delivered daily along with relevant news articles condensed into easily digestible notables. Each shareable and notable includes a pre-written caption and is ready to post directly to social media in seconds. Looking to share listings but hate the stale feel of your MLS? List packs are perfect for sharing collections of listings on social media or directly with buyers, including homes with pools, open houses, upgraded kitchens, and more. You can also create customized collections that highlight specific market areas and home features for current clients or to share with potential buyers on social media. You can unlock even more features by co-branding with a loan officer on List Reports. By pairing with a loan officer, you'll unlock immediate access to even more features, including a library of over 500 customizable shareable images, additional marketing materials, and a custom text-to-lead code that helps you accurately capture more prospective buyers with less work. All of our marketing solutions are easy to use, mobile-friendly, and designed to engage your clients. Best of all of this is free for you to use and conveniently accessible via your daily agent email sent to your inbox every morning. Start each day off right with List Reports.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, List Reports. And look, if you don't have a List Reports account, reach out to me and I'll be glad to help you set up a List Reports profile and make an appointment with you, show you how we use List Reports on a daily basis to generate a mortgage blog, generate this show, generate content for Facebook, for Instagram, for LinkedIn, and TikTok. So with that said, now we're going to move into the fun stuff today. And for Saturday, what day is today, Sol? Let me bring Sol on the screen. You can't hear her until she's on the screen. So let's bring Sol in here. Sol,
Hey,
what day is today? What day is today?
Today's February 22nd, 2025.
Great. And what time is it? Do you know? Is it fun time?
It's showtime, right around 11 a.m. for our fun segment.
That's right. That's right. Let's do fun and pun segment, and I'm going to let you start off with today's first pun.
All right, here's a fun one for you. Why did the mortgage banker break up with the calendar? It couldn't handle all the interest.
I don't know if that's funny. Okay, what do you call a cautious insect?
What?
You gonna guess?
A nervous tick?
No. How about a hesitant?
Oh, that's clever. A hesitant. Love it.
Okay, let me see if you get this one. Let me see if you get this one. Why does Lisp have an S in it?
Oh, that's a classic. So people with a lisp can't pronounce it. It's
Okay.
such a playful wordplay.
It is definitely. How about Beekeeper's favorite music? Do you want to guess that one?
Something with a buzz? Maybe Beatles?
Bossa Nova?
Nice one. Bee
I like
Gees?
Beatles. Do you want to tell me what the dentist's oath is?
Oh, I've got this one. To be true to the tooth.
No, to swear to pull the tooth.
Haha, that's a
uh,
good one. Swear to
uh-huh.
pull the tooth.
Okay, we're going to poke fun at you. Why did AI apply for a mortgage?
Ooh, why?
Because it finally had enough data for a solid credit history.
Haha, love it. A solid credit history with all that data.
How about I put oysters in the blender and made what?
A shell shake?
How about Pearl Jam?
Oh, that's clever. Pearl Jam.
Do you know what my favorite pun is? You want to share my favorite pun with everyone before we go?
Oh, absolutely. Your favorite pun is who's always shaking her fins? Sharkira.
No, that's my favorite TikTok pun, and probably had the most views of any TikTok platform. Let's see if we can show that. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna bring this on the screen. So just stand down 1 second. Let's see.
Sure.
Let's see.
Take your
Where's
time.
this at? Yep.
Got it. Let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, Sharkira. Let's do Sharkira, shall we?
Let's do it. That one's always a hit.
Let's just say that one had a lot of likes and a lot of comments.
I can see why. It's a fun, clever pun that sticks with people.
Yeah.
It's a great way
Okay.
to engage your audience.
Yeah. So hey, my favorite pun is actually bad puns. That's how I roll.
Oh, that's a good one. Always
Hey, thanks for joining us with this week's episode of What's Up with Real Estate. Thank you to our sponsors, Rate.com and List Reports. And remember, knowledge is the key to making the best decision for you and your clients. Join us here every Saturday, 10 a.m. right here on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook. And until next time, we're gonna let Sol bring us out. Until next time, what, Sol?
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and stay empowered in your real estate journey.
Sort of. Stay informed, stay engaged, and I'll see you at closing. Thanks.